Welcome to day 42 out of 79 of my daily Facebook live challenges for what is it I'm doing it for? Press 79, isn't it? And as you can see, I've got a very, 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 very important guest today who some of you know and some of you don't, but I have mentioned him on one or two earlier of my lives, because as I've said to you, EFT has just transformed me. So welcome, Brad.
Thank you, Wendy. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you.
I think it's awesome that you're doing this, that you took on this challenge for Quest 79. And it was so proud of you when you chose to do this, knowing that it was seemed like a bridge too far and would have been a bridge too far some time ago. So I think it's just awesome that you have done this. Thank
you. Well, it was a lot of it's the mastermind group that I did with you. There was several people and we all tapped together and tapped on each other's things, and I've just got rid of so many of my old beliefs and I'm quite different now, as a lot of people have noticed. So can you tell us, for the people who unfortunately don't know you yet, but they will soon know you, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Oh, I'm just a guy who taps on his face for a living. And
well, how does a guy get into doing that?
Yeah. How does a grown man find himself tapping on his face for a living? Wendy, how does a grown woman find herself tapping on her face for a living?
My very good friend Judy showed me a video of yours. History.
There weren't any tapping videos when I first got into this. As far as I know, I may have put the first tapping video on YouTube. I don't know that for sure. I just wasn't aware of any at the time that I did it back in 2007. And I first learned about tapping in around 2000, maybe 99. I was
quite early on, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, relatively. In the grand scheme of things now, at that point, there have been people who'd been doing it for several years.
Yeah.
When I went to, I was a hypnotherapist, had started as an actor and then became a hypnotherapist, realizing that I would need a backup job to help support my young family.
Very sensitive of you.
and then I found that I really loved doing personal development work and hypnotherapy, and that became my main drive. And then I heard about tapping, and this energy psychology conference happened in Las Vegas, and this guy named Gary Craig was teaching a workshop on.
Wow, he's the founder of EFT.
Founder of EFT. So I thought, hey, what the heck? And I went and fell in love with this technique. Primarily, the thing that made it most profound for me at that moment was when he had us tapping on chocolate cravings, gave everybody a Hershey's Kiss and said, okay, on a scale of 0 to 3, how much do you want that chocolate? And I'm like, 9, 10. And after a few moments of tapping, I could not eat the chocolate. And I don't believe I ate chocolate for nearly 2 years after that. Wow. I did eventually recover.
Yeah. I must admit, we did that when I was training, and I went from M&A down to not wanting it and thinking it smelt of fish. How can chocolate smell of fish? But I did carry on eating it.
Yeah. Forced yourself through it. I'll muscle through this fishy smell. I remember he had us try to take a bite of it, and it was chalky, and it just felt like processed chemicals.
Incredible, yeah.
And so, and even though I can go back to eating chocolate, some yesterday, but then I can also, when I choose, it's like, I don't want to back off of that for a while, and I can do some more tapping, and it can be sitting there, and there's no temptation. It's not a matter of willpower.
No.
It's just a matter of, it doesn't look like food to me. There's nothing appealing about it to me that, I would no more pick up an eraser and start eating it.
Yeah.
So, so that was my first tangible experience of, wow, there's something to this tapping. And that whole weekend conference was just a profound experience. I had always been interested in spoon bending,
Oh yeah.
and went to a spoon bending workshop with a woman named Marla Brucker, who later became a friend of mine, and bent spoons. And I went to that workshop with a woman that I had met in an earlier class. Just this woman was sitting behind me in a class, and we just started joking around and hit it off and became friends. And that woman is Carol Look, the first
Oh,
EFT master,
wow.
still a close friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I was stealing her silverware at that workshop to bend it. we had our own little piles, and I'm like, oh, give me your fork.
That's fun. Sounds like my sort of fun.
So that and I at that point I didn't know who Carol was. She was already starting to be known in the EFT world.
Okay.
And I think it was a year or two later, went to Gary's Flagstaff workshop, and where Carol was a presenter.
Yeah.
And got to meet people like I sat with Marla and Pat Carrington, and all kinds of people who are already accomplished in that field. And I was total nobody. It's like I just learned this, but it was really good to be around those people and pick up that energy, so that it allowed me
The
to.
energy is amazing, isn't it? That sort of thing.
Yeah. And now here we are, 21 years later.
Oh.
And I get to come on your Facebook Live.
That's it. How things change.
Hey, Rachel, another accomplished EFT expert.
Brilliant.
Commenting on it. She commented and they said, "Hi guys."
Oh right. Oh lovely. I don't know why I didn't expect it, but I was surprised to see your thing for this in your groups this morning. I thought, oh help! It's going to be more than the 3 or 4 than I usually get watching live.
Put some pressure on you.
That's it. I can take it now.
Hong and Diane from Wednesday Group are here. So
brilliant. Hello, Hong and Diane.
So we should do some tapping, maybe.
Sounds like a good idea. Could you lead it?
I mean, as long as we're here,
Yes.
How can I show up in your Facebook Live and then not do some tapping?
How can you not? Do you ever go anywhere and not tap?
And it upsets people. I show up at a dinner party and they're like, "Oh, great, Brad's here. We're all gonna have to tap." Going to be at a Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow night where there's going to be some, a whole bunch of family and extended family. And oh, great. Hey, Rosie's here too. So there's going to be all these expectations, but no, most of the time in my day-to-day life, I'm totally anonymous. Most people have no idea what I really do in the real world. And I don't even try to get them to tap.
No.
But here,
however good tapping is, you do need a break from it occasionally.
I actually, if I go for a while without doing it, I actually don't like it. It's because I love what I do so much.
Brilliant.
And I want to be of service in that way. And it's like, I'll be in these groups and I'll go, especially if they're talking about things that I know are tappable issues. I'm like,
yeah,
don't make them tap. Just hold yourself back. But
I notice it if I don't tap. Sorry, if I don't tap for a couple of days, I notice it.
Yeah,
it's really strange.
Who is it? There's a great pianist, maybe Vladimir Horowitz, or I think it was a pianist. Could have been a violinist like Gil Shaham or someone, who said, if I don't practice for a day, I notice it. If I don't practice for 2 days, my manager notices it.
Yeah.
If I don't practice for 3 days, my audience notices it.
Yeah.
I believe that he was probably more accomplished than that, and the audience probably didn't pick that up. But but there's that feeling of, if I don't go for a few days, and there, it's very rare that I'll go a day that I don't
I
tap
can
myself,
imagine. Yeah.
because I generally tap first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
But I love to be tapping with people and sharing it. It's like, it's how it's like being of service and being, earning my place in this world. It's like earning my oxygen.
It's such an easy thing, but it does people so much good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But there's no pretense of anonymity here, because you've invited me to be on your Facebook Live, because this is what I do.
This is what you do.
So there's a sense of, I really ought to do it.
Let's tap then.
And I could say, well, it's your Facebook Live, so you should be doing the tapping, but you're doing it 79 days in a row.
But I must admit, I'm not tapping on all of them. I am going to start tapping a bit more now. I really basically been getting my courage up, because I think the second one, I switched it off as soon as I'd started. I just couldn't.
and since Rachel's here, let's make it clear, it's Rachel's fault, because she's the one who invited me to be part of the Quest 79.
Rachel's fault, then, definitely.
Hello, Kimberly. All right, so what do you want to tap on?
Something positive and not too serious.
So let's do this. For us here in the United States, tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I know, so we've got a couple of Brits here, we've got a Canadian here. It's not, but every day is a good day to give thanks. Yeah. So let's do something on enhancing that whole feeling of gratitude.
That's lovely. Yeah.
Everybody close your eyes.
We can all be grateful, can't we?
Pardon me?
We've all got things to be grateful for. So
absolutely.
Even the spirits, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but
yeah. What if every day was Thanksgiving?
Yeah, that's what it was.
And it's not because we should, that there's an obligation. That's the thing, is that we have so much programming around thanks, about gratitude being an obligation. Oh, you should be grateful for what you've got. But gratitude is like one of the best feelings. It just feels so good to be in that place. Yeah. And so allowing ourselves to do that. So everybody go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. And now just allowing yourself to be present, breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. And just allow yourself to be aware of where you're at on a scale of 0 to 10 in terms of gratitude. 10 being, I am so freaking grateful. And don't judge yourself harshly if it's not at a 10. Just recognize, oh, okay, there's some other stuff going on that gets in the way of my sense of gratitude. And that's not bad or wrong or stupid. Don't blame or shame yourself for that. Just allow yourself to go, oh, isn't that interesting? And if part of you says it's at a 10, what could make it go up to 11? Just allow yourself to be aware of what might be there that might block you from feeling grateful. Again, not judging it, just being curious. Take a deep breath, open your eyes. I choose to feel so grateful.
I choose to feel so grateful.
And I choose to love and accept myself.
And I choose to love and accept myself.
I choose to feel so freaking grateful.
I choose to feel so freaking grateful.
I choose to love and honor myself.
I choose to love and honor myself.
I choose to feel amazingly grateful.
I choose to feel amazingly grateful.
Not because I should.
Not because I should.
Not because it's expected.
Not because it's expected.
But because it feels so good.
But because it feels so good.
And I choose to feel really grateful.
And I choose to feel really grateful.
And I choose to deeply and completely
And I choose to deeply and completely
love, honor, and accept myself.
love, honor, and accept myself.
And maybe everybody else too.
And maybe everybody else too.
Because when I'm in that place of amazing gratitude,
Because when I'm in that place of amazing gratitude,
it feels much easier to feel that way.
it feels much easier to feel that way.
I choose to feel so grateful.
I choose to feel so grateful.
I choose to feel amazingly grateful.
I choose to feel amazingly grateful.
Not because I should,
Not because I should,
not out of a sense of duty,
not out of a sense of duty,
not because my parents said you should be grateful.
not because my parents said you should be grateful.
I'm not doing it for anybody else.
I'm not doing it for anyone else.
I'm doing it because it feels so freaking good.
I'm doing it because it feels so freaking good.
I love the feeling of gratitude,
I love the feeling of gratitude,
that sense of appreciation
that sense of appreciation
that feels so good in every fiber of my being.
that feels so good in every fiber of my being.
I'm even allowing it to be okay,
I'm even allowing it to be okay,
to be selfishly grateful,
to be selfishly grateful,
being grateful just because it feels good for me.
being grateful just because it's good for me.
And it's okay that that's good for other people too,
And it's okay that that's good for other people too,
because my gratitude does benefit others.
because my gratitude definitely benefits others.
And I can even be grateful for that.
And I can even be grateful for that.
Ooh, even more gratitude.
Oh, even more great, yeah, gratitude, have fun.
And I'm allowing myself to enjoy that.
And I'm allowing myself to enjoy that.
And I have a lot to be grateful for.
And I have a lot to be grateful for.
And I can absolutely count my blessings.
And I could absolutely count my blessings.
And I don't even have to do that, though.
And I don't even have to do that way.
I'm giving myself permission
I'm giving myself permission
to feel so freaking grateful,
to feel so freaking grateful.
regardless of how many blessings I might have.
Sorry,
Regardless of how many blessings I might have.
regardless of how many blessings I might have.
Even if the only blessing I can count
Even if the only blessing I can count
is the breath that I'm receiving right now.
is the breath that I'm receiving right now.
I'm allowing myself to be so freaking grateful for that breath.
I'm allowing myself to be so freaking grateful for that breath.
And the funny thing is,
And the funny thing is,
the universe responds to that
the universe responds to that
and says, oh, you think you've got a lot to be grateful for now?
and says, oh, you think you've got a lot to be grateful for now?
I'm just getting started.
I'm just getting started.
There's more where that came from.
There's more where that came from.
And I'm gratefully allowing it,
And I'm gratefully allowing it.
giving myself permission
I'm giving myself permission
to feel as grateful as possible.
to feel as grateful as possible.
And I'm allowing myself to clear whatever gets in the way.
And I'm allowing myself to clear whatever gets in the way.
And without any blame or shame,
And without any blame or shame,
I'm acknowledging those parts of me that say,
I'm allowing those parts of me that say,
oh, here's something to not be grateful for.
oh, here's something not to be grateful for.
Here's a reason why we shouldn't be grateful.
Here's a reason why we shouldn't be grateful.
I've got to deal with this.
I've got to deal with this.
This thing's going on in my life.
This thing's going on in my life.
These people are showing up
These people are showing up
and doing what they're doing.
and doing what they're doing.
How could I possibly feel grateful?
How can I possibly feel grateful?
And I can go back to my breath.
And I can go back to my breath.
I just got oxygen.
Just got oxygen.
There's something to be grateful for.
There's something to be grateful for.
And even with all these other things going on in my life,
And even with all these other things going on in my life,
there might still be something to feel grateful for there,
there might still be something to be grateful for there,
because I'm growing from that.
because I'm growing from that.
Even if the only thing I can do
Even if the only thing I can do
is allow myself the joy of gratitude
is allowing myself the joy of gratitude
in spite of these things,
in spite of these things,
there's a victory I can be grateful for.
there's a victory I can be grateful for it.
And the more I feel that way,
And the more I feel that way,
the better things can get in my life.
the better things can get in my life.
And I'm willing to allow that.
And I'm willing to allow that.
And my gratitude might even rub off on these other people.
And my gratitude might even rub off on these other people.
My high vibration
My high vibration
can be so infectious
will be so infectious
that they get better.
that they get better.
I'm willing to let that happen.
I'm willing to let that happen.
And I'm willing to feel grateful even if it doesn't.
And I'm willing to feel grateful even if it doesn't.
Because I have so much to be grateful for.
Because I have so much to be grateful for.
And even when I don't feel like I've got a lot,
And even when I don't feel I've got a lot,
there's always something I can allow myself to feel grateful for.
there's always something that I can allow myself to feel grateful for.
And I'm giving myself permission to do that.
And I can give myself permission to do that.
And I'm allowing myself to love how good that feels.
And I'm allowing myself to love how good that feels.
I'm letting today be Thanksgiving.
I'm letting today be Thanksgiving.
I'm giving myself permission to do that every day.
I'm giving myself permission to do that every day.
And I'm loving myself in the process, in body, mind, and spirit.
And I'm allowing myself into the process in body, mind, and spirit.
Take a deep breath. Close your eyes and just allow yourself to let that process. And hopefully that feels good. Allowing yourself to be aware of anything that you might want to tap on further, or just allowing yourself to revel in that feeling. And allowing yourself to be excited also about all the good things that that can bring, just on the basis of law of attraction. The more we allow ourselves to be in that place of gratitude, the universe says, oh, you like that feeling? I'll give you more to give that, to, inspire that feeling. And even when the things showing up aren't that awesome, it puts us in a much better place to handle it. Take a deep breath, open your eyes.
Thank you so much. That was awesome, really was.
Yes, you are. I don't know if you're able to see the comments, so people be.
I'll have a look after.
Rachel commented, you have a biggest smile, and Kimberly's, I'm very grateful for all the teeth I'm seeing. Hong says, yes to gratitude.
Oh,
So.
it's lovely. Thank you so, so much.
Well, thank you for creating this opportunity, because that was a heck of a lot of fun. And, and it's a positive experience for all of us involved, and you created that. So thank you for doing that. And thank you to everyone else who co-created, because we are all co-creating this.
Yes, thank you, everybody who's joining in this live, and also everybody who watches it later, because I know some people are busy doing other things, which is fine. I've been
And that's the awesome thing.
By a few people, they'll watch it later. So
we have co-created something that will benefit people indefinitely.
And this is a lovely one to keep.
So
very good.
I am grateful for that opportunity.
Thank you. And I'm grateful for you agreeing to come on and not telling me where to go.
Awesome. Well, I wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving tomorrow, even if it's not a holiday that you celebrate in your country. Happy Thanksgiving, whatever day it might be, just allowing yourself that gratitude and giving yourself permission to have that good feeling.
Thank you so much, Brad, and thank you, everybody.
You're welcome. Take care.